Always a very exciting day, especially for aviation buffs and those who track the military, when they see a new military aircraft. And this one's called the HLFT-42. It's completely indigenous. It is proposed to be made in India, and it claims to be a game changer as far as training and preparing pilots for every future scenario possible, in addition to saving huge current costs on training incurred by the Indian Air Force. Take a look as we unveil the HLFT-42, made in India.
Big boost to self-reliance in military aviation. Hindustan Aeronautics Limited today unveiled first images of a brand new supersonic fighter trainer aircraft intended to train future pilots for frontline combat. Called HLFT-42, the new trainer is currently in the works and a prototype will be ready soon. A full-scale model of the jet will be unveiled at the Aero India show in Bengaluru next week. Aviation buffs and experts are abuzz over the new fighter trainer, revealed in just these few images released today. The high-performance platform incorporates an ultra-modern cockpit and a full complement of combat sensors, weapons and operational capabilities. With the new HAL jet trainer, pilot trainees get to not only experience supersonic flight, but are exposed to a very fighter-like environment before actually graduating to frontline fighters. The new trainer will allow the Air Force to fill a tiny but crucial gap in its exhaustive pilot training regimen. What's more, in a war-like scenario, the HAL trainers can be quickly weaponized as light tactical fighters if the need arises. Best of all, it's a fully indigenous solution to a present and future problem that will only increase. Currently, fighter pilots go supersonic only on frontline fighter jets like the MiG-21 or Su-30. With Shivarur in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
So let's tell you a little bit about this new aircraft that's been proposed. It's only in the concept stage right now. It's being proposed to the Indian Air Force. Now, if the Indian Air Force chooses to get it, this is the kind of capability that it will receive. It's a supersonic jet trainer aircraft. An absolute, necessity as far as training is concerned, because this is an aircraft that can go supersonic. HAL claims that it will be fitted with advanced sensors and an advanced cockpit. It will also have, give pilot the full fighter feel, in addition to supersonic speeds, which is crucial for modern, combat missions. That will happen as, through this. It will train pilots in advanced combat, because this will basically have all modern sensors, all modern equipment and avionics to give pilots what they will experience when they're in an actual advanced frontline fighter. But very crucially, it will save the high costs that the Indian Air Force currently incurs by training many of its pilots on actual frontline fighter aircraft. So instead of spending all that money on the MiG-21s and MiG-29s and Su-30s, they're saying, why don't you train on something that is cheaper to build and to operate? It's indigenous. It will be made in India if the Indian Air Force green lights this program. It's still early to tell whether the Indian Air Force will approve and show solidarity with this program. Now, let me just quickly, for the benefit of all of our viewers everywhere, to tell you what the Indian Air Force's training regimen looks like. It's a multi-stage training that takes place in the Indian Air Force. It starts with stage 1, which is a propeller training. Currently that takes place on the PC-12, the latest PC-12. These are Swiss aircraft. They're going to soon be replaced by HAL's HTT-40 aircraft, but these are the planes that currently are the first rung of training for all Indian Air Force pilots. Then they go to stage 2, they go to the HJT-16 Kiran aircraft. There are very few left right now that are training pilots, very few left. They will soon be out of service. So that intermediate jet training is called stage 3. And finally in stage 3, you've got the Hawk, advanced jet trainers. These are British-built aircraft. HAL also constructs them, and that's where pilots go. Crucially, these aircraft do not fly supersonic, and therefore there's a stage 4, which is operational fighter training, where trainee pilots go from the Hawk into frontline fighters like the MiG-21, Su-30, etc., where they conduct training flights on actual fighters. So What HAL is proposing with this new aircraft is an intermediate step, a 3.5 stage, where it has this new HLFT fighter trainer, which basically has all the qualities of a fighter. It can travel supersonic, it's capable of simulating a real fighter environment and cockpit, but does not cost at all as much as operating a fighter, but can still travel supersonic. So all of these different issues are there, which will become a part of the Indian Air Force's training regimen should the Indian Air Force decide to do that. I want to quickly also just put the spotlight on something that's coming up. It's a big week and a big month for Indian military aviation. They see military aviation, as it were, because you've got HAL unveiling this very promising combat fighter trainer today. Just a couple of days ago, you had India's very own Made in India LCA, light combat aircraft, landing on India's very own aircraft carrier INS Vikrant. And on the last image on your screen, that is the Tapas surveillance drone system that has been manufactured and developed here in India. And as it happens, it will have its first public flight and showing next week in Bengaluru at the Indian Aero India exhibition. So lots of muscle flexing and lots of things to be proud about as far as Indian military aviation is concerned.